Hello again and welcome back to our course on PSE 15. In this section we're going to look at the search facility in the organizer, although I should say the new search facility in the organizer, because the way that search works in this latest version is pretty much completely different to the way it worked in previous versions. I mentioned right in the beginning of the course that search has always been rather an awkward thing to do in PSE. Well, with PSE 15 it has become considerably easier, but it works in a very different way as well. In introducing you to the search facility, I am going to be mentioning a couple of things that we haven't covered on the course so far, and in particular smart tags, another feature which is new in PSE 15. But I think that by taking you through search first, then the role of, for example, smart tags becomes a lot clearer if you've not come across this sort of thing before. So to access search from the organizer, you click on search, and that brings you into the search screen. The first thing we're going to look at is this set of icons down the left hand side, because these represent what are called the search parameters. The very top one of those corresponds to smart tags, and if I hover over it, you will see the smart tags that have been applied to my catalogue. I didn't have to do anything for this to happen. PSE has actually analysed the pictures in my catalogue and tagged them with these smart tags, and I'm going to talk to you in some detail about smart tags in the next section. But with that option displayed, smart tags, if I clicked on, for example, hill, I would see all the pictures in my catalogue with what PSE considers to be a hill in them. Note that in doing that, what's actually happened is hill has been added to that box at the top, and hill is now part of my search. I think it would probably be more accurate to say that it's part of my filter on my catalogue, so the term hill has been included. If I work down the other parameters, for instance people, I've got no people tags set up at the moment. We're going to look at people later on in the course. I also have no places tags set up at the moment. I do have dates, and this basically filters the content of my catalogue by date. So if I wanted to apply a filter for April 2016, click on that for example, what I've now got is a filter combining hill and April 2016. And basically these now are perceived by PSE to be the images in my catalogue that satisfy both of those search conditions. There's a hill in the picture and it's from April 2016. You can of course see the dates beneath each of the thumbnails. So as I work down the other parameters, I have folders. I could select what folder or folders the images are in. I have keywords. These are my own keywords, the ones that I created when I set up my keyword taxonomy. Albums, I only have one album at the moment. Supposing I said pictures that are in that album, you shouldn't be surprised to learn that none of my images satisfy all three of those criteria. I then have events, none yet. Star ratings, let's suppose I'm looking for 3-star images, or should I say greater than or equal to 3-star images. And finally media types, photos, audio, videos, projects. So basically by running through those parameters and selecting which ones I want to apply, I am doing what's called here a search, but which in some ways is much more of a compound filter on my catalogue. One of the simplest things to do is to remove one of these search conditions. So for instance, supposing that I said that I don't need to have a hill in the picture, so I'm going to delete, using the little delete cross there, hill from my list of conditions. And I also don't need the picture to have been taken in April 2016. If I removed the rating condition, then I would have images that are in that album. Having identified the results of the search, you can go back to the grid The grid now just shows the images that came up as a result of the search, and of course if you wanted to do something with those, that's fine. At any time, if you want to clear the search, there's a clear button there on the right, and when you're in search there is a clear search option at the right hand end of the search bar. It's also possible with the new search facility to search on text. So for example, if I wanted to search for hills, rather than just enter a keyword of hill, if I click within the search bar and type H, I'm offered a number of terms that begin with H. Some of them may be smart tags, some of them may be keywords, they can be the names of albums, etc. If I find the particular term that I want, hill for example, there are all of my hill pictures. Some of them will have been obtained by smart tags, some of them will have been obtained via keywords, and if I wanted to, I could combine this particular criterion, this search criterion of being something to do with a hill, with, for example, a date constraint. So what about a picture of a hill that was taken in the year 2015? If instead of clicking on a month in 2015, I click on the year 2015, I'll find any of those hill images that were taken in 2015. Well, none of them were actually, so let me go back to the date again. What about 2016? Now what's happened here is very interesting, because I have a hill and then when I've used the same panel, in this case the date, and I've said 2015, 2016, the operator it's put in is an OR operator, whereas the plus is an AND operator. So this particular search is, I want pictures of hills that were taken in 2015 or 2016. If I eliminated the 2015 requirement, knowing that there weren't any taken in 2015, I'd still have the same list. So in that way you can build up pretty complex searches based on multiple criteria and a combination of AND conditions, OR conditions, and in fact exclude conditions as well. So let me just show you an example including an exclude condition. I'm going to stick with my hill pictures taken in 2016, but I don't want any which actually have mountains in them. So I'm going to go to my keyword list here. One of my terms there is mountains. Click on mountains. Notice that mountains pictures are currently AND the previous conditions, but suppose now I change that AND to an exclude. I'd be saying show me the pictures of hills taken in 2016 but which don't include mountains. And what you can see now are the 7 remaining images. And the final thing to mention about search is that if at any time you click in the search bar, you'll see the most recent searches again. So if you, for instance, wanted to do a search on Shetland pony or horse, in this case, that straight away brings that search back to you. There is some very good information about the new search facility in the Organizer PDF. I refer you to that. But for now, that's it on search. I'll see you in the next section.